Hi, my name is Alex, and we're going to talk about El Amigo. El Amigo just opened up 6 months ago, and it's a family-style Mexican restaurant with several kind of dishes. On Yelp, it has a 4.5 reviews, and many people tout the customer service and the quality of the food. So one, we're going to talk about quality management. They order their ingredients bi-weekly at the local food restaurant depot. Most of the ingredients there are locally grown, and there the owner himself from Amigo checks the ingredients checks the quality of the ingredients. And once we bring it here, the manager checks the ingredients again, and when the food is served, the chef checks the ingredient again. So this three-step process to ensure the quality of the first basic step of the ingredients. Now we're gonna go inside, take a look at the facility, and just to see how lean the production is. Let's go inside. As you see, this is the layout of the restaurant. Here is the upstairs restroom. There's the cashier. As you see from right there, the counter and the kitchen and serving area is very close. Here's another additional seating area. Customers enjoy the sunlight, and people like Paul enjoy their coffee and breakfast. We're gonna take a look at the facility now. Facility is a combination of job process and repetitive process. Each order is made to order, but also it's a combination of a variety of dishes from the same kind of inventory. So as you can see, there is the grill, the hot plate, and the cold plate all lined up there, and then come over here. The serving counter is right there, and it's very quick and efficient. Overall, the size is smaller and very space efficient. You have the plates here, you have your dishes here, and everything's all very tightly packed. That's facility.
Alright, so we're going to talk about lean management. We're going to go through the same facility, but this time we're going to be looking at what kind of lean principles they've implemented into their kitchen. Because as you've seen, they have a huge customer area, which is a pretty good idea, so that they can have more customers, but that leaves a very small area for the kitchen. So they have to implement as many principles as they can to keep everything super efficient, so that they can meet up with the demand of like a lunch or dinner rush. So first of all, something cool is the quality management that goes into handling all their inventory. So as you can see on the counter, he's cutting meats, but the meats are only touching the yellow cutting board. So everything is color coded in here. So everything that's meats is all color coded as yellow. Greens are all vegetables. So it's keeping everything, keeping all the quality management to a high standard. Especially in a restaurant, it's important because there's a risk of contamination of meats and vegetables. And as you can also see, everything in the kitchen is super close together. So as soon as one process is done, it just moves straight into the next one. So there's never any sitting time, waiting time for the inventory as it moves down the production. And you can also see how vertical everything is in this kitchen, since everything needs to be super space efficient. So underneath the grill and the burners, there's storage. So underneath there, we have storage of like cold meats and seasoned meats. So as they get an order for something with meat in it, they can just pull it out from underneath the grill and just throw it right on top. So it's essentially eliminating any movement time or any risk of contamination of moving meats around the kitchen.
Thank you. Oh, I think it's fine, yeah. Alright, now we're going to go to Mexico and check out a facility that recycles plastic bottles like these into tiny flakes reused in new products. Let's go.
Bienvenidos a Recycling Us. So first, a truck with the load comes through door number 1, and then it's weighted with the material in the scale. Then the personnel download the material into one of the 2 containers. depending which one's empty. Then the truck is weighted again in order to see how much material was received. And then the truck exits through door number 2. Here is the first quality check. So as the material is then loaded, the personnel downloading the material check that it's all plastic bottles and there's no other type of garbage in. For example, carton or plastic bags or any other sort of garbage. So that would be the first quality check. Now, after these 2 containers are actually a very innovative idea for recycling plants in Mexico. Most of the plants just use their floor, but these containers help keeping the plant floor clean, and obviously that reduces the dangers of having any kind of rats or flies or any kind of those type of not sanitary conditions. Then from these 2 containers, the material is gone. It's dropped into a transporting belt that moves continuously at a constant speed. There are people, 7 workers in either side of the transporting belt, and their job is to separate any kind of plastic bottle that's not PET. So this would go all the way into the container for it to be cut. However, this type of colored plastic bottles, green, or even this, which has this line, so it's HDP, so it's not PET. Those would be taken out to be sold somewhere else. However, the transparent PET plastic bottles will go to the next container. So this container is above the ground, and these 3 squares are the meals. And using gravity, the workers, there are 2 workers right here that shove the material into the meals. Of course, there's a safety feature in the entrance of the mill so that there are no accidents of workers falling into the meals, causing a severe injury. These 2 workers are also in charge to take out any bottle that would not qualify as transparent PET. So that will be quality check number 2. Then there's sacks underneath the meals that can hold up to 500 kilograms of flake. And here is where laboratory personnel come and take a look at the flakes to see if the size is right and also if the cuts are sharp. If not, the razors would have to be adjusted. And here, this is the inventory or the stock of the flakes just cut, and they're given some labels with lot number and also if the quality of the flake is the correct one and also the size. So that's quality check number 3. Then these sacks are transported via pulley system into this is basically works like a washing machine. So here, this is just an agitator to get all the dirt and the remainings of the soda or whatever the bottle contained, to get rid of any type of contaminant that might affect the end product. For the washer, there's the quality starts when the plant receives the water from a pipe truck. They have to check for the acidity of the water, and if it's not the correct one, they'll add some chemicals in order to have the right acidity to perform the washing process. So that'll be quality check number 4. Then as it goes through, it's basically what you would see with your clothes while you're doing laundry. So it gets wet, it gets a little, it gets some soap and some detergent, Obviously here there are much more stronger chemicals to wash the plastic. In here there's a tank, and actually the caps, the plastic of the caps sink to the bottom, and then the label of the bottles float to the surface, and everything in the middle is taken to the next stage, where it's basically a dryer. So there are a bunch of machines that use centrifuge force in order to get rid of extra label and also get rid of the chemicals that were used, and obviously water. And then it's dried, and then here it's transported upwards and into a super sack that can hold up to a ton of hot washed plastic flake already clean. And here there's the stock for the hot wash final product of the flake that will be reused for making more bottles or any other materials, for example, car dashboards. Here the laboratory personnel come and they take samples of each of the sacks, and they test it and make sure that the quality is A quality, which is the best one. And so that will be quality check number 5, and the most important quality check. That's all the process that takes place in Recycling Us. Thank you. For Recycling Us, we interviewed the general manager of the plant, and he emphasized how important it was the layout, the efficient layout of the plant, and the quality management in order to have a lean operation overall. In terms of layout, the layout allows Recycling Us to have a very clean plant. Every month there's a repainting of the whole plant, and a thorough clean operation. Then in quality management, the general manager told us that he used Six Sigma for the quality, and he referred to a relationship about Six Sigma and lean with a metaphor, saying that Six Sigma was a bird and lean was a horse. So the bird has a perfect view of what's ahead and can guide the horse through the right path, that being achieving a lean operation. The plant overall works and strives to be a lean operation, emphasizing in those two key aspects, which are layout and quality management.
We have learned a lot through our research and analysis into these two companies, especially learning a lot, seeing two completely different businesses across borders and how they can use similar principles, especially the lean management principles. So facility, layout, and good quality management are really strong building blocks to start a lean business that allows you to correct your processes and react to different demand and growing demand in the future. So a couple differences. Obviously the restaurant has a much smaller facility that they were able to work with because they adopted the restaurant and the kitchen from the previous owners. But the recycling plant, starting more from scratch, they were able to leave themselves room to build more production lines and be able to scale production and meet with growing demand in the future. So with two companies having strong foundations and lean principles and being able to survive in the market, we're really looking forward to seeing the two companies be able to see their mission statements and their company values really come to fruition in the coming years.